Welcome. Sunday Night Shine Time, episode 5. Now, you got to forgive me. I'm not home. I'm not in the jet cave. I'm in the kid's garage. I don't have the green screen. The lighting's not the same as I have with the setup. So we're going to have to deal with that tonight. I hope that's okay with you guys. But we're going to have a fun time. We're going to have some good Jets discussion. We're going to talk about the newest New York Jet and the difference he can make. And can the Jets be the top defense in the entire NFL? We'll be back with me, with you, maybe some others, right after this.
And now, welcome to Pride and Chaos.
Welcome to the darkest year of our adventures. Oh, yeah!
And now, give it up for Jeremy and Nick.
Now you scared me.
And as usual, Nick is wrong.
Why are you the way that you are? God, I can't stand you.
Let's go to eat a damn snack.
Whoa, that was cool.
What's up? How we feeling? How are we feeling? Happy Easter to everybody who celebrates. God bless. The Lord blessed us today with a Duke loss, which is always a good thing. So, spent some time with the kids. Duke lost, and now I get to hang out with you guys? Hold on a second. I'm on air. What do you want? I set it up in mine? I thought I'm in yours still. You give me, it should be in yours. No, you patched me into yours. Production meeting, guys. Forgive me. Okay. Horrible arranged marriage that we have. At least I don't have to share the bed with him. But Duke lost. Great day. Hassan Reddick's a Jet. Great weekend. Let's say what's up to everybody who's hanging out here. Johnny, coming off the bat with a conversation question. Kendrick or J. Cole? I'm not a fan of either. I don't really know either of their work, to be completely honest with you. I'm an old school hip hop fan. Like 2007 is my cutoff line. There's not much I appreciate after 2007 when it comes to hip hop. You want to go before that? I'm your guy. But after that, no. Right around when Drake, Lil Wayne, Eminem, the LeBron song, I want the shit forever. Yeah, what is it? I want this shit forever. Forever? Is that the name of the song? That right around then is when I started fading out. That was like the last song I really thought was good. But it's been a very, very long time. Yes, Matthias, my friend. I hope you had a blessed day too, sir. Wherever you are on this planet. I know you're moving around. You're shaking. Happy Easter, Sean. Okay, more. Mr. Connor, give me J. Cole. Yeah, that's the younger generation's conversation. That's more up Connor's alley than it is mine, Johnny. What's up, Hank? You're here. Ricky is here. Ricky, I'm going to send you the link in a little bit to your Twitter, hour 2. You can hop on. You will be first to hop on if you're down. New York Jets super fans in the house. What's up, my guy? How are you, sir? Hello, Wild Wave. Oh, I got to see. I changed some of the options. So you guys who are members of the channel might have some cool little things popping up right now. You guys might see it in YouTube. I don't see it in StreamYard. That's right. Everyone wants to hear Jets talk. So for those of you coming in, I'm not in the Jet Cave today. I'm actually at the kids. I'm in the garage. I went to their house for Easter, spent some time with them. So this is the best background because I have green on. If I put the other backgrounds, it doesn't come in too good. But without a green screen, I think it's coming in okay. I don't have my lighting, but we got to deal with it. As long as I'm here talking Jets football with you guys, that's all that matters. The presentation, I hope you can deal with. Harry, hello, brother. I'm fine. Yourself, sir? Jet 41 is here. What's up to you? Nathaniel Hornblower, what's up? Oh, he's going with Raheem. All right, now we're getting back into my day. Aurora is here. What's up, Aurora? Armand's in the house. Man, I spend a lot of time with on air lately. Phenom is here. Phenom, hour 2. We're going to have some call-ins. Nick Fury, like Biggie, Tupac, Lil Wayne, Sean Paul. Yeah, all right. We're gonna as soon as let me say hello to a couple more, and I will just drop my top rappers. We'll start off with that tonight. We're gonna get right into that. I see Dano is here, Alon's here. What's up, guys? What's up, everybody? Anyone else I'm missing? Blitz BK and Mr. Ali. Hello, hello. What's good, everybody? So, all right. I'm 45 years old. Here's my top 5 rappers. And not even in a particular order. I'm just going to throw out the top 5. Well, number 1 for me is Biggie. I was more entertained by Biggie as an artist than anyone ever. Give me Biggie. Give me Method Man. Give me Redman. Give me Busta Rhymes, who I think might be the most underrated of all time. And give me Eminem. Those are my 5. I know there's a lot of others that I appreciate, but if I'm going to play on the old CD changer, if I'm taking the 6-disc changer and I'm putting those in, and I mean 6 for me is Tupac if I got to put a 6-disc changer in. So, but if there was an audio of somebody who I would not want to hear while I was driving around in the car, it would be this guy. You know him. You love him. He looks like he looks smooth and silky tonight. I think somebody spent a little time in the bathroom today, and this time it was actually standing up in front of the mirror. You ready? All right, let's bring in Mr. Chaos. Look at you all silky smooth, you sexy gun.
I didn't even use a razor.
What'd you do? Just yell at the hair till it ran out and fell out in fear?
No, Jocelyn got me the super like barber type professional.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like she did it a few years ago for my birthday.
Oh, good stuff. Good job, Josh.
Yeah, because
Good
I was
job.
like, I hate shaving. It's cutting my head with the like cheap ones, and I said, and it's like I have this. I need some easy way to do this because I kept going to when we lived in the city. I was going to like barber shops and getting the the whole shave thing with the wet towels. And I said, well, this would be easier if you just get me one of the things they have. Get me one of those freaking monsters because that's all they do mostly. So now I have one of my own baby monsters.
You got the link from CJ too? Was that what that alert was?
With the link from who?
I heard your phone go off. Was
Yeah,
that
yeah.
the link? You got a link from CJ too? I think he goes on at 9 on Sunday now. So actually, I'm on head to head with him. But mine went off, and then I looked up, and I heard your ding. So
Yeah.
I know he's good with sending out the link.
Let me do it.
That's how well we know one another. I know the alerts that you're getting on your phone.
It was him.
That's an arranged marriage, right? When somebody's phone goes off and you know the alert that they're getting. So,
man, NC State, I'm so excited.
oh, how good was that?
That's my brother's alma mater, so I know you liked it because they beat Duke. But man,
Duke loses.
we used to. I mean, like this is crazy. Like my family, is going. His whole family is just going nuts right now. They can't believe this is happening.
That's awesome. Yeah, it was good. I met the kids. We did. They went to Gina's boyfriends. They had like an egg thing there at their house. So I was here chilling for a little bit.
An egg thing?
An egg hunt thing, whatever.
You taking a shot at me?
Yeah, they were looking for eggheads all over the yard. But when they came back, we were outside. We fixed the basketball hoop that got blown over and kind of came off track with the wind in the winter. And when they came back,
Well,
we were outside.
hey,
We fixed
now.
the basketball hoop that got blown. All right. I wanted to see something.
Hey, it's Phenom. All right.
Oh, wait, before we go any further,
Yeah.
before we get into the Jets flow, I have to congratulate Mr. Boomtown.
For what?
In the Discord chat, we could play poker. And
How am I not in this in this chat, in this Discord chat?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't run things. I got asked to come in. I was like, sure.
Oh, okay. I thought it was yours for being a member of the channel.
No.
It's like StreamYard doesn't count. Okay.
No. It's not something I put together.
Okay. Then I don't care. None of my business.
Yeah. And Dane was like, we can play poker in here now. And
cool.
there was
Nice
7,000 messages.
Nice sleazy Dane kind of thing, right?
Well, we
Token.
played, and there were 6 of us, and I knocked out 4. And Boomtown knocked me out to win. So I did all the legwork the entire night, knocking everybody out. There were buy-ins. I knocked almost every elimination was me knocking somebody out. I think all but one. And then the second one was Boomtown knocking me out. So congratulations to him. He walked away, the pot winner. I came in second and got the second place pot. But it was fun hanging out, bullshitting with everybody. But I get cranky after like 12:15, and this went on to like 1:30 or so. So I apologize to those who were in the game and dealt with my crankiness.
What's up, Peter Ali?
Now we have to figure out how to get his winnings north of the border. Boomtown's in Canada. So we have to figure out how to get the money. I guess Dane will have to send them something or send it somehow.
Yeah,
but I don't think they can do.
Tell them to take off 10% because of the strength of the American dollar. You got to do the conversion.
Oh, he was commenting on it. He's like, I'm not even talking in the chat. This is the most serious thing to happen. He's like, this is strictly business for me. I'm not even. You asked him something. It was, yep, nope, sure. He was strictly focused the entire time.
Hey, I just want to say hello, Hader Ali, my buddy. So here, one thing that you guys should know is the for some reason, I don't remember this ever happening. Honest to God, Passover's not until like April 20th or 18th, or it's like I don't have any memory of it being so far apart from Easter. But Passover is like still a few weeks away, so it's kind of weird. But yeah,
I'm gonna put. You want to make sure you get your comment up online. The super chat is a great way to do it. But if I see Duke lost in the chat, that's getting up there immediately as well. Yeah, Phenom, me too. But I'll be completely honest with you. I was upset that the Tar Heels lost. That kid chucked that 3 at 52 seconds left. And I know Davis had a bad game, but that kid chucked that 3-pointer with 52 seconds left from the top of the key, who I think made 4 3-pointers the whole season, maybe.
Let me ask you something.
Sure.
I just got to ask you a real question. Am I one of these, Gen X and Gen Alpha? Like, I don't know what gen I am.
Me neither. Like, and that's why I know I'm okay.
I think you're okay when you don't know what gen you are.
Yeah.
Like, I have no fucking clue.
That's it. Like, I feel like whatever generation is after me. You're 53?
Yeah.
You might be boomer.
Really?
You might be a boomer. I don't know if you're
boomer.
boomer.
I hear boomer and I think green bean, like out of touch, clueless, ogre. You know what I mean?
Baby boomer. All right, Phenom, who I think is older like
baby
us.
Boomer.
He's coming in with a baby boomer at 53. I think he's between us.
I think Phenom's a little bit older, but he looks great. It's a good-looking man, Phenom.
I'm gonna have to stretch because I have the laptop on like 2 flat like bar stools next to one another, but they're low. So like I'm leaning over hunchback. So I'm gonna have to like lean back and sit. I wanted to get something higher. Can I lower this chair? No, I can't. So
Oh, it's pronounced Hyder. I didn't
yes,
know that. I've always
I
called him
do.
Hader.
I know I'm gonna say it wrong.
Hyder
No, hold
Ali.
on.
Okay.
Hold on. Let's address this. Aurora, speak for yourself. Neither Jeremy or myself love green bean. Um, he likes to yell at people, tell them they're wrong. He always worries about himself being right. Doesn't matter what it is. He just wants to be right. Not a fan in any way, shape, or form. Never watch his show or support him. Never talk to him privately either. Just we will not spread this negativity and lies on my channel, Mr. Aurora. We are not doing that. And you could tell him I said it. Hopefully he's got some time and he pops in tonight.
I have to take shots at green bean whenever I can.
Of course. Especially he's talks more than I do. If he's not there to defend himself, that's the best.
No one is no one. Yeah, look, Wild Way. Speak for yourself.
Hyder. Yep, he's saying it is Hyder.
Hyder. Okay, I've been saying it wrong forever. He's never corrected me.
I just think even after he corrects you, he knows you're still gonna say it wrong. So why even waste his fucking time typing? Like you need a simple name like Nick Shine for you to remember.
I just hope that Hyder is at the draft party because I'm dying to meet him. It'd be great to meet him. He's like, I feel like we're like close friends. If I see him, it's just we're gonna just hang out all night. You know?
Yeah, I might be in for that now.
You might be in for it. You just
might
got to be
be
able to
in.
depth
If I
that,
get
right?
right out there, I'll come out. If someone from New Jersey's heading out there or passing through New Jersey out there, I'll go out.
Yeah, maybe you can make a deal with them if you don't eat anything. You're not drinking.
No, back in the day though, man, they would lose money on me drinking.
Yeah.
That place would be like, this deal is not good. That guy's coming. Like they would be
Suddenly,
easy.
Dano thinks names are important. It's so he surprises me all the time. Dano surprises me all the time.
He does.
You
He
know,
doesn't value time.
yeah.
He doesn't value time because he will send you a 17-minute text message on something that could have just been, sure, sounds great, but he'll write you a dissertation like it's a college paper. But names, he's like, I have to make sure this is correct. And you're right.
It just shocks me because I imagine a guy that's like, you know, lives
You
in a kind of
picture like a middle of the country, like fuck your name. I don't give a fuck what your name is, but he's like,
porta
no.
potty kind of
He's
bathroom
texting
outside
you
of his little
phonetic
cabin,
spelling, like you totally wouldn't expect it.
off the grid, you know, porta potty bathroom. He has like, you know, like
Oh, it's the lighting in here, man.
like
It's
a
a garage.
camper kind of guy. You know, he's always camping.
And the pollen was killing me today. I went outside and I smoked a cigar and the wind was blowing with the pollen. So I had my glasses on, but with the white light, I didn't like the way it looked. So I put my contacts right back in. Yeah, my eyes are a little puffy today.
Like I imagine you hang out with Dano for some reason. You're in sleeping bags, and he's always pulling out joints and smoking devices. And he's got the cheapest beer. You know, it's like some cheap, like American beer. It's $3.99 a case. You know, and he drinks like 12, 13 of them.
Nice. All right. So
Like he's like, if you want to keep followers, like someone's fucking me. Hey, Hyder has been with me since I started my channel, bro.
hey, I don't know who this guy is, but Danio. Am I saying that right? Danio. Thank you for chiming in. I don't know how you got the super chat or the membership logo or the wrench, but thank you. Day one. That's what we'll call him for now. Day one. He's a day one fan.
Wait a second. How does he have the wrench?
When I was getting monetized,
Uh-huh.
I wanted to make sure I gave like a bunch of the guys who are constantly in the chat, like him, Scott, Wildwave. Johnny,
No, as long as you gave it
Snowball.
to him. I thought for a second that I made him a moderator on my channel, and because we share the same StreamYard, that maybe that means he's a moderator on yours. So I was going to think that was very funny.
Well, I gave it to all of the guys who never get offended by anything and would never be like, "Oh, that's not a comment we should have here." So I didn't really assess it well. I was just like, "Oh, these guys are always in the chat. Let me hand it out to them." And now I'm like, "Oh, they're not going to stop anything. They're going to be like the government on January 6th. They're just letting everybody in." I can make that comment. I was just at the way. I was walking through Washington talking to Jeremy on the phone the other day. And like, dude, what if there was another insurrection and like I'm here and I'm like the face of it? Like, like how cool would that be? I'm like, I wouldn't do anything, but I'm like, I would definitely find the cameras. I would definitely go viral with it and be like, "Yo, proud New York Jet fan, YouTube, check me out." There'd be like 1 million people subscribed in like a day. But my luck's not that good. I just had to sit on a bus and try not to go to the bathroom. Can I unsend the channel emojis I just sent you? But all right, I don't know. I saw some text come in, Dane. I haven't looked at it yet. I will take a look. I added some the other day when I had time. But let me just ask the question flat out and see what you guys think. Can we be the best defense in the NFL? I think if this team, on both sides of the ball stays healthy, yeah, we're going to have turnover ability. We're going to have sack ability. We're going to have sack fumble ability. We're going to have a better offense with ball control. I don't see why this team, with this talent that we have, if healthy, cannot be in the conversation as the best defense in football and possibly one of the best, if not the best, in Jets history. I just see too much talent everywhere. You got multiple All-Pros who played linebacker. You've got all Pro Bowl guys, 6 out of the 8 guys in the rotation on the front line. I'm not counting Michael Clemens. Are first-round picks. You got Sauce at All-Pro. You got Reed, who's played at Pro Bowl
Sauce,
level.
arguably the number 1 cornerback in the NFL, right? Coverage.
Yeah. You could say our weakness is safeties, but when you have all of that in front of you, and Michael Carter, Pro Bowl level nickel, you have all of that in front of you. You're Tony Adams, man. Your job is easy. You're Chuck Clark. You're easy. Your job is basically aligning people and reacting. So this is going to be fun to watch. Like, I know everyone's talked about the offense and how we've needed to upgrade the offense, and I think we've done that. This move excites me because as a fan, I've always said this since I was a kid going to the game. There's no part of the game that's more fun. Touchdowns are cool, but you got to be quiet while the play develops. When you're a fan and you're at the game and the crowd is making noise and you're screaming and banging the chairs and stomping and waving your hat around your head or whatever, and you hear that eruption when a pressure comes, the sack comes, the ball gets thrown incomplete. That's just, you feel like you're part of the experience more. Offense, you're quiet, you react. Defense, you feel like we got that stop, right? Like I can't wait for that.
Yeah. One of the things I like about I know Connor. Good night. Oh, he's got to get up.
Spring break's over, man. It's back on the grind tomorrow, buddy.
One of the things about Hassan Reddick, I looked at I was watching like some stuff from him. Like first I started with highlights, and then I found some game analysis, some film analysis from way back that people had done from other channels. It wasn't even Jet guys, old stuff that was just done from people who have scouted him.
Yeah.
What I didn't realize about him was he's one of those guys. He reminds me of the guy from Indianapolis, the linebacker who's now gone, but he was like 3 years ago. He was all the rave.
Dwight Freeney.
No, the more recent than that, but like he just like last year after injuries isn't the same, but he's known as a ball stripper, ball hawker. Like he caused a lot of turnovers and stuff. And it was a linebacker. But anyway, I I was watching and I noticed that and we could really use that. He seems like Leonard. Thanks, Kuka. Um, Leonard, the linebacker from Indianapolis. But anyway, he seems like a guy who causes turnovers. Like he doesn't just get the sack. If you watch the way he tackles, he's like one of those guys that really focuses on chopping his arm and knocking the ball loose. Like he goes after the ball. And I think that's exciting. Like not just being like, oh, we're getting a lot of sacks and we're putting a lot of pressure on, but being like the kind of team that's going to create turnovers in the backfield, like strip the quarterback constantly, cause fumbles, strip the running back, of the ball. It's just exciting. Like if we can, like that's the thing that I think has stopped us, even though we've been really good about preventing scoring, especially in the red zone and yardage. What excites me is what the next step to me that we haven't been is a defense that scores points, a defense that gets turnovers and makes big plays like that. And I don't think we've been great at that. And I think that Hassan Reddick and the JJ coming along, I think we're starting to have the potential to be that. And I'm getting excited about that.
Yeah. This turbo package with JJ, Will, Reddick, and maybe Quinnen is going to be nuts because we saw some defensive sets last year where JJ lined up inside and then maybe they stunted or something like that. But what if you have like Reddick or Will inside and Quinnen and JJ outside and you smash down on the first stunt and these two come flying around the outside? Like if you're a tackle and you have to step in to block Quinnen to make sure he doesn't penetrate the B gap, and then you got to get back out because Reddick or Will are using their speed coming around the outside. I know that your love affair, Coach Ulbrich, has to be fucking excited right now. What the things that he can draw. Listen, I know Huff was on the rise. And this is not a knock at Huff in any way, shape, or form. This is just a fair, accurate football assessment. Ladies and gentlemen, the New York Jets got better as a team. They got better as a pass rush. They got better as a defense. Hassan Reddick is a guy who plays in Philly, a guy who plays on a team that does rotate their defensive linemen. And guess what? He was still out there for about 75% of the snaps. I think it was 75.7. This is not a pass rush specialist. That's a tough sentence to say. This is a guy who is an elite defensive player. And this is a guy who is a closer. And this is a guy who gets better as the game goes on, even with that percentage of snaps that he plays. This is an outstanding move by Joe Douglas. I am very happy as a Jet fan, and I think everybody else should be as well. The money part, the compensation part, who cares? You see ownership, coach, general manager are doing exactly what they told us they would do. They said, we're going all in. You heard offense. 5 big moves on offense. The 3 linemen, Mike Williams, and the backup quarterback, Tyrod. It's 5 good moves on offense. Hopefully only 4 ever have to step on the field outside of preseason or kneel down late in the game. But now you're looking at the defense. You add Chuck Clark. Not a headline move, but a solid move, right? With, like I said, everybody you have in front, we don't need Ronnie Lott back there.
Right.
We need guys who are just smart in the right position, don't get beat, smart with the zone, make tackles, see the plays, read, and come up. Simple shit, man. We don't need guys getting 14 interceptions like Night Train Lane back in the day, right? But I'm looking at this, Jared, and I'm looking at the team. The depth is insane.
Yeah.
This might be the most talented Jet team we've ever had. As a matter of fact,
It really is. Arguably, if we stay healthy, it is, in my opinion. If we stay healthy, it is. And I'm a person who believes Aaron Rodgers is still, he might not be MVP Aaron Rodgers, but he's still a really good top 12 quarterback. Like, and his and aside from that, it's his knowledge, it's his experience, it's his ability to put our players and our offense in the right position by calling audibles, by out like he gets the last say over their defensive coordinator. He gets that last read and can call that last audible. And that's a giant step. Like, we're talking about one of the worst offensive minds and not a good offensive coordinator in Hackett. And we're jumping to an on the field quarterback with 16, 17 years experience that that not only can out coach the defense of what they're doing, he could see what they're doing and he gets the last audible. He gets that last change that they can't do anything about, which I think is something that we can't overlook. It's a tremendous advantage. And yeah, imagine that our defense actually got better. Like, as we're focusing all this on the offense, somehow our defense is actually better. And we didn't even account for young players that are getting better. Like, Will McDonald is going to be better. JJ is going to be even better. These guys are still ascending. So, I mean, it's just super exciting.
Yeah. It's not like JJ, Will, Quinnen even. They may all have more. We know the two ends do. But this, I think, makes Quinnen better. You know, I think we've been missing a guy to put next to Quinnen who's just as good or could be just as good. I don't want defensive line retreads and guys. I trust Saleh and company to make the right moves. I trust them to find guys who fit in this scheme, like Quentin Jefferson. None of us were excited about Jefferson last year. And then, what do you have, 2 sacks or a sack and a half in the Buffalo game to open the season? Like, nobody had him leading the Jets in sacks 3 games in, and he was. So I'm excited about what they can do with these talents that they've pinpointed and said, get me that guy. Get us that guy, bring him in, and watch what we do with him. So it's going to be fun, man. It's going to be fun. But I will say now, I think Edge is off the table in round 1. Now I'll say it. You know me. I'm always saying you can add, you can add, you can add. This is better than drafting anyone because for the year 2024, Hassan Reddick is better than anyone in this draft. There's no offense, but it's not even a discussion point, right? You can't even talk about it. It would be disingenuous and you would sound foolish as a fan.
Yeah.
But we got better on defense, and we were a top defense with a bad offense who was put in bad positions time and time again, short fields, playing from behind, not able to be what they wanted to be all the time. This is exciting, dude. This really is.
I mean, just an average offense. I think we could be a little better than average offense. I think it's a bigger jump than people think because of A-Rod and because offensive line and because Breece Hall is now ready to go at 100% from game 1, not having to work him back in slowly. Like, everything will be, full. And then having Mike Williams on the other side of Garrett. And plus, we're not done yet. We don't know what's going to happen in the draft. But like you're saying, being able to not go, people are forgetting, we would literally go 1, 2, 3 out, 1, 2, 3 out, 1, 2, 3 out, sometimes 8 times in a row. It was that bad against the Giants, against New England, against the Raiders. It was 1, 2, 3 and out every time. Can you imagine just giving our defense was playing without a rest and like fighting to keep us in the game? Now, all of a sudden, we're sustaining real drives, even if we're not scoring touchdowns all the time. It's not like we have to put up 40 points. Just by holding the ball, by having possession of the ball and evening that out to 30 minutes and putting together first downs is going to make it that when our defense comes out, they're not out there too much. And the other team can't get that rhythm and is not, like you said, in that position to easily 1 first down and they're in field goal range. Yeah. It's not going to be like that anymore. Yeah. We're going to be able to play field position and pin them and do all kinds of fun things. So, yeah, I expect the defense to be better for so many different reasons.
Yeah, no, it's going to be exciting. Jets gang, what's up, man? I think we can see him if we don't get guard and center. I think we'll be okay. Don't forget, we got Schweitzer, who I thought was solid as a backup last year. Not someone that I would want to build the entire defensive or offensive line around, but I think someone who could fill in. Uh, I don't think the injuries are going to be anywhere near what we've seen because now that we have the quarterback threat, now that we got weapons improved, there's going to be less guys in the box. There's going to be less guys to block on a regular plays, right? You want to all out blitz Rodgers, he's going to get the ball out unless it's the fourth play of the season. But
But I look, I really like the idea of bringing back Connor McGovern. He's super cheap. He
yeah,
knows the system. It's continuity. If he comes in, you move Titman. If a guard gets hurt, you move Titman over. You put in Connor McGovern. It's continuity. He's been there for years. Like he knows the system. They know him. You know what I mean? So it makes sense. It's just a sensible move to sign Connor McGovern. He costs us nothing. It's like literally, what is he going to be? 1.6 million. I mean,
yeah.
like the
You do what he did
minimum.
last year.
Yeah.
You
I
see what
mean,
happens, and you say to him post draft, "Hey, we'd like you to come back. You worked well with the young guy last year. Uh, I have no issue with it, right? Like
yeah.
Tittman is not. He wasn't a rookie like Nick Mangold, who you knew from day one was going to be like maybe a flawless type of player. Tittman still needs work, you know. Uh, I'm okay with that veteran presence being there. Someone who's young 30s, who's been around for a long time, who's capable of teaching him the ropes on how to be a center and an offensive lineman and read the defenses in the NFL. I'm fine with that. You want to get another veteran minimum? Cool. That I'm great with that. Come in for another year. Next year you're going into year 3. Now you're the veteran, and then you get maybe a young guy to come in behind him. But yeah, I'm all right with that. I think when you look at this offensive line now, we're pretty good. Like if these guys are all healthy, this could be a very good offensive line in the NFL. You got Rodgers, who helps them. You got Brees, who helps them. If they can go out there week after week together, this could be one of the better lines in the league. And I don't think that's crazy to say that. Tyron Smith, all pro level left tackle, right? John Simpson, a guy that they view like they viewed a Quentin Jefferson, like they're viewing a Solomon Thomas, a guy that can come in and contribute, not be the best guy of the group, but a guy that you can run behind, a guy with a nasty streak, a guy with a fuck you mentality, something we've missed, right? Vera Tucker's passionate, he's screaming, he's yelling, he's woohooing. I want the guy to be like, fuck you. I knocked you on your ass. I'm going to do it again on the next play. I want them to run behind me. We're coming right at you because you can't get through me. I want that guy. That's what John Simpson is. Tittman, learn, develop, get the goddamn ball to Rodgers, right? Vera Tucker, you're the passionate one. You're the celebrator. You're the hype guy, but you're very good when healthy. Stay at one position. Moses, above average tackle. You don't need 5 first-round picks everywhere on the line. It's something else that we've been saying, right? You don't need first round. It's not plausible in the NFL. You'll never keep them together.
No, if they could stay healthy for most of the time. I mean, I know asking for it hasn't happened, but if they could stay healthy most of the season, relatively healthy, which is possible, obviously, it could be a very good offensive line. It really could. And it doesn't need to be an elite offensive line, because we've seen what Brees Hall could do with the worst offensive line.
Yeah.
So just anything average, above average, just a good offensive line. It's the difference in Brees Hall could be just like, holy shit. Now, Garrett Wilson with no quarterback and no offensive line, within the worst offense ever, somehow got 1,000 yards receiving for 2 years in a row. So what is going to happen to him if suddenly we have more of a decent offensive line and a quarterback where we jump from complete incompetence to a good quarterback? I mean, we might see Garrett Wilson show the world, I've been Justin Jefferson that good all along. I just haven't had any real quarterback to show it.
Good points. All good points. Yeah, Patty, you do have them. And it's coming up time to pay those guys. And it's going to be very interesting on how the Lions work that.
But it was a
You know,
very
you
good.
got to find guys like a Simpson. You got to find guys who are mid-round guys who can come in and start. You know, it's with all the money you're paying quarterbacks and all the money these pass rushers and corners and receivers are getting, it's going to be tough to keep everyone together.
Yeah, it is a challenge, but it's a good problem to have. Now, look, the Lions built the right way in the trenches, right? They built their offensive line and their defensive line. That's what they built up, and you're seeing the success from that, but I think what you need is you need to draft well. So when you do lose guys, which you are going to do, you're going to lose players if you're successful, right? I mean, good. You can't keep everyone. We know that there's not enough money to keep everyone. So you have to continually draft well. So you're filling positions with good players for cheap.
Yeah.
Like you have to have that because you can't. Not at the 22 players, 11 on each side, can't all be making millions and millions of dollars. So you need to always, whether it's through youth or just good value, smart, like smart signings, you have to have guys that don't cost a lot that are contributing and good, solid role players. It's the only way to win.
Yeah. And I think what you'll see after this year, if it's the same regime, which we all hope it is, right? You cannot like Douglas,
Better
you
be.
cannot like Saleh, but if they're back, it means this year was a success. And I think we're all in agreement there. We all want to see that scenario. You might not want the coach back for XYZ reason, but you'll be happy if they are, because that means this year was a pretty damn good season. But what I think you'll see after this year, since we do have an all-in type of team right now, I think you could see them maybe resign some of these one-year deals, right? If Tyron Smith likes it here, we have a good run. He could be back. I still think he's got a lot in the tank. You could start to see trade backs and acquiring more 2s and 3s to get guys who might be round one talents, but fall a little bit, right? For whatever reason, positional need, whatever. Teams that needed other positions. So I think after this year, you start to build towards long-term success with stocking up 2s and 3s, and we get away from having all the 1s, right? And that's where you get your offensive lineman. That's where you go get another weapon. That's where you go get a potential DJ Reed or Carter replacement. You start to really build this team in that 1, 2, 3 area.
Yeah, look, this guy Simpson, we don't know how good he could be. He finally got this opportunity. He played all 17 games. He was really good against the run. He's young, so he had a lot of penalties. That was the big knock on him. He can improve on that. He could lower those penalties. That's coachable type things. So we don't know that this guy Simpson's not going to be around for a while. We might re-sign him or extend him sometime, during the season or at the end of the year, quickly extend him or re-sign him. He might be our guy for the next bunch of years, like handful of years. This guy Simpson might be our guard. Like out of the other guys are old. I mean, he's the one most likely to be here with Tippmann and AVT, and be part of that future core.
Like we took Brandon Moore years ago, who was a defensive lineman, and converted him to offense. And the guy went on to be a Pro Bowl level guard who I think 10, 11, 12 years as a Jet.
Mm-hmm.
That would be great if we could get like someone like Simpson who comes in and is a Jet for the next 7 years. Like that's our left guard for 6, 7 years. How cool would that be? Like to know, like you said, Simpson, Titman, Vera Tucker is our interior until they're all in their 30s. Like, how
It'd be
great would
amazing.
that be?
It'd be
To
amazing.
just finally have positional stability on the offensive line. We were spoiled with Brick and Mangold. That spoiled us. We had Brandon Moore for years with
Yeah.
we haven't had that, and we miss that. You could say there's a lot of things wrong with the New York Jets, but we did have the center position on lock for almost 20 years between Mawai and Mangold. Uh, Titman, I'm not putting him on that level by any chance. He's got a lot to improve before he can even be mentioned as one of the best centers we've had. But I think he's on a good trajectory.
The
And
potential's there.
having the people around him that he has now allows him to grow. Because when you have confidence in the guy to your left and to your right, it allows you to be better at your job.
Well, yeah, yeah. When you have winners, guys who are really good, guys who are you got a nasty guy, and he's nasty. Titman's nasty. Believe me, he's going to be a nasty player. He's a rookie. Rookies aren't typically nasty. Some are, very few, and they make a name for
You're a
themselves.
nasty boy.
But I'm saying, having Simpson alongside of him, what is Simpson going to be putting in his ear? He's going to be going, "Come on, man, let's kick some ass."
Yeah.
He's going to be like, "Let's do
John
this."
Simpson is a guy that New York fans will love because he is the bring your lunch pail to work,
Yeah.
knock the snot out of you, and celebrate with the fans. If we do a toss or we run off tackle, we run power, and you watch him pancake somebody on their fucking ass and celebrate, we all watch the film. We all watch the play. We know if Brees gets a walk in the end zone from 2 yards out and it's up the middle, we're all going to look at the block. I think the Jets fans are very educated fans. No one's going to say that's all Brees. We're going to go back and look, and we're going to say, God damn, Simpson just killed that guy. I love
Yeah.
Simpson. And when he gets an introduction at the game, they'll start to be louder and louder week in and week out because they'll know that this is a guy that we can trust.
Well, when you watch the game, if you ever hear me and Green Bean, that's what I like about it, is that what's changed is I went from a guy who watched the game and Brees Hall gets a touchdown, I'm just screaming touchdown Brees Hall, he's the best, to now we're always looking. Like, as soon as any play is over, either Green Bean or I or somebody in the chat, that's the great thing, somebody in the chat will quickly say, "Did you see that block? Look at that block by AVT." And then when it's being played in replay, I'm like, quickly, I tell Green Bean, "Oh, somebody said we should look at the block by AVT." And now, so as a community, we're paying attention now to these things, and we're becoming smarter, better football fans because we're understanding the game better. We're not just looking and saying, "Oh, the running back did that touchdown."
Yeah.
Now we're saying, "Oh, Titman and Simpson got us that touchdown because look at the hole they created."
Yeah. You're going from a fan who watches the game to going to almost seeing it like a coach and seeing the game. And it's a cool transition to, like, I love, I say it all the time, I've coached defense. I get excited watching the defense, watching the guys move around. One of the greatest things I've ever experienced as a fan was the Rex Ryan walk around who's coming from where blitz. I would jizz in my pants when I saw that. Like, when I was at the game and I had my seats in the end zone and I would see them walking and move, I'm like, whoa, dude, how do you stop this? This is brilliant. When a guy's got his hand in the grass, he can do one of three things. You can go straight, you go left, you go right. But when you're walking around and there's guys crisscrossing each other as the ball's being snapped, the communication on the offensive line can't take place. It's fun. It's fun to watch the chess match of a defense. It was the most fun I've ever had at a game as a fan was beating the Colts and Peyton Manning 41-0 in the playoff game and watching what we did to who at the time was being branded as the next greatest quarterback in the NFL history because he was like year 4, 98, 99. He was year 5. That was 02. That was amazing what we did that day.
What we did,
we could do that week in and week out where we can take great quarterbacks and we can really shut them down and embarrass some of them.
I love watching now the stunts. Like I love it when, especially JFM, when he stunts to the inside, or like they've done that with Clemens, and they have two guys switch places, and the guy on the outside goes in, and then the guy on the inside comes out and comes around. I love that stuff. Like I'm so into that now because it's like deception. It's to throw the offense off. They don't, I love that stuff. I love that. I love that a Reddit is going to be able to drop back into coverage now. Like
Yeah.
and maybe on a screen pass get an interception or two, like who knows? Like if he reads what's going on, he has that skill set to back up and
Yeah.
disrupt those screen passes.
Hyder, was that? Well, I know Brick and Mangold. We had Faneca. Was Damian Woody also a first round pick? Was Woody? That was Woody and Brandon Moore, that line, right? Was Damian Woody the fourth first round pick?
I don't know. I don't remember the picks. I didn't. Those years I didn't even follow
Well,
the
that would
draft.
have been a Patriot pick, but
Mhm.
let me know.
Back in those years, all I knew was the first round pick. Like each year, I'd find out. Oh, is he any good? I remember I was in a bar in San Diego waiting for Jocelyn to come from the airport, drinking a beer when they took Jamal Adams. And my brother Lee, everybody knows Lee, said, "Is he good?" And I said, "Yeah, he's a really good leader. He's a leader. He's going to be he's definitely going to be really, really a great safety." I remember saying that. You know what? He got at the end of the
That's
day.
the cup I'm drinking from at the kid's house.
You could say whatever you want about Jamal Adams. At the end of the day, he got us AVT and Garrett Wilson. So I'll take it. I'll take it. And he gave us some good years at safety. He
Yeah,
gave us some good years of football.
he's a nice player who didn't fit what this scheme wanted out of their safeties.
Yeah.
And his attitude was, I want to be rah rah leader. Look at me. He wanted to be like a wide receiver on the defense, and that shit don't fit. Defense, you got to be selfless. You got to be about the group. You got to be about everybody giving of themselves to be better, and then you celebrate one another. That's what I love about the squad that we have now, is that everybody builds everyone else up. Like Ashton Davis gets an interception. He hands the ball to Sauce. Like, here, you never get one, bro. You get it. You can have this ball, and they celebrate together because they're tight off the field.
Yeah.
You see when the guys get the sack, they all do the JJ thing. And you know what's awesome about the JJ thing? I don't think I've ever said this on air.
Yeah.
I'll get video on my old Facebook account from me at the game, and I would do the jet chant, and I would drop the hammer to lead the jet chant. So I
Mhm.
think it's awesome that something I was doing 10 years ago
Yeah.
is now like a celebration that one of our players does.
Yeah. I love that.
But that's how I would do it. Fireman does this. I would bring the hammer, and when I hit, that's when we would do the chant. I'll send it to
That's
you.
great.
I'll
That's
find the
great.
video and I'll send it to you. But yeah, I love how everybody wants to build one another up. Like everything that Douglas said he wanted out of players, you're seeing on the team. Selfless,
The
loves football.
media tried so hard to destroy us this offseason, the beginning of the offseason. The media was out to crush Aaron Rodgers and crush this team and get everybody. They wanted to break us. They wanted to make it's almost like they wanted Woody to fire everyone. It felt like they were so anti-Jets, and like were their favorite punching bag. Were their favorite punching bag. And JD's response was just like, "Up yours, man." And he just stacked this team. And now it's like they're getting nervous. Some of them, oh, I guess they could be pretty good if they stay. Even Rossini, they can be pretty good if they stay healthy. Like people are starting to like shut up now and take notice.
It's my favorite thing. It's my favorite thing is that the people who have screamed for jobs every 2-3 years, right? We got to fire everybody. We got to fire everybody. Do you know why teams like the 49ers, the Ravens, the Steelers, the Patriots for all those years had success? Even the Seahawks, right?
Yeah,
They don't have changeover. If they
not really.
do, they promote from within. They're not changing regimes every 2-3 years. They're not changing defensive philosophies. They're not changing. They're staying the course. and you might have a different guy driving the boat, but we got fans screaming after 4 games, "We should have never hired this guy. I want this guy. I want that guy." I hope that this works and we can stay with this because you're seeing the fruits of the labor. Yes, we've won 7 games the last 2 years. I keep saying it. I know someone will probably pop up in the chat and give me mathematical numbers, which I'm really not in the mood for. But with the most injuries on the offensive line, with the worst quarterback play in football, we were still winning games. Now our offensive line is going to be better than it's been by far. Our quarterback's going to be better. Our weapons are going to be better. Our running back is going to be healthy. Our defensive line might be better than we've had. So if you can't look at this team and say this team can compete, well, it was the first thing I said 2 weeks when free agency hit. After we got Tyron Smith, I said, we thought last year we had a contender, right? And maybe the blessing in disguise was when Rodgers went down, we saw how flawed the rest of this offense was. And they said, we have to do better. We have to get more. We can't rely on a 40-year-old quarterback coming off of this injury to be MVP type of player. What do we want to do? Holy shit, we got Breece Hall. Let's just go build a smash mouth power line and make him the focal point and let everything work off of him, which allows Rodgers to get his timing back because we know he doesn't play in the preseason, right? Let's ride Breece.
Oh, yeah.
Let's give this defense a fucking lead. Let's stop with we have to come back. We didn't do anything on offense. We're punting 99 times in a season with Morstead. I would love to have the least amount of punts in the league next year. How about that?
Yeah, we have absolutely got to. When you that was why I was so mad last year, because like Breece got off to that crazy run, and I was like, why? Like, to me, it's if you're dominating with the run, if he's just running through, getting 5-6 yards a carry, popping a 15-yard run, if you're doing that, I don't care if you don't pass the ball at all. I really don't, because the truth is, when you're effectively controlling the ball and running the ball well, make them stop you. Make them prove they can stop you. Don't do them a favor. Don't go into the much riskier passing game that could lead to a sack, A-Rod getting hurt. There's no reason for it. Like, in other words, let the run game dictate how much we pass. If they can't stop the run, let's just run over them all game long. There's no reason not to. It's the safest kind of football. It's the most effective. It keeps their offense off the field. There's no reason not to play that kind of football. It's stupid, like, not to if they can't stop you. If they have to start stacking the box to stop you and they start doing that, fine. That's what we want. Now they're stacking the box. Now A-Rod is going to eat them alive. Call an audible play action pass. We're going to have one-on-ones downfield with all of our receivers, and we're going to eat you alive. Simple. Yeah. It's simple, basic football.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. Answer Snowball's question. I know we tapped on it earlier. Real quick before you get into that, as we about to enter hour 2, I want to thank everybody for hanging out here on Easter. God bless. Hope you had a great day. I hope you enjoyed watching Duke lose as much as I did. I hope you enjoyed watching the Yankees come back to complete a sweep of the Houston Astros in Houston to start the season 4-0. Got to spend a day with the kids, which was awesome. Life throws curveballs, but I'm hitting that shit out of the park time and time again and just dealing with it. Thanks for hanging out. If you're new here in the chat or if you're on X, Twitter watching, please go to YouTube to Proud New York Jets fans and subscribe. And we'll have some fun. We'll talk Jets. We'll laugh. We'll have a good time. We'll talk some topics that are outside of football as well. So thank you so much. But go ahead and answer this for Snowball. And then we'll start to get some other comments up here. And then I know you got a little bit. You got how much more time you got?
Yeah, I have to leave like now. So I'll just answer the question and get out of here.
Right.
where does the defense rank? I think definitely I feel
Hey,
confident top
real
3.
quick. Talk. Let me use the bathroom while you're here,
Okay.
and then I'll come back. So it's
Okay.
all you. Go ahead.
Yeah. I think that we're definitely top 3. I used to say top 5. Now I think top 3 confidently, especially after last year. I see no reason why we're running it back with a better defense. I see no reason why we won't be top 3. I think we have the potential to be number 1. I think there's different measurements that people use to measure defense. For example, it's arguable that the like some people will you take the top 3 and people have them in different orders based on turnover creation, how many points you score. There's other kind of factors that I think that to be the definitive number 1, I said it before, that we have to improve at is more of what we saw against Philadelphia, where the defense wins the game with turnovers. More of those kind of plays where we force turnovers and score points off of turnovers. That's when a defense really puts an exclamation point on its dominance, right? So if we get more of that, because Hassan Reddick is a perfect way to do that. If we get more of that and have a lead, so we're hunting the quarterback more, so that's forcing more mistakes. Because remember, I was just saying it with us, why I like to run the ball effectively, because passing is more dangerous, right? There's more things that can go wrong. So with our pass rush, with our defensive line, the way it's stacked, if we get the lead and are forcing them to pass more, there's going to be a lot more sacks, a lot more fumbles, a lot more rush throws, interception opportunities. This is what's going to put the exclamation point on our defense. When it starts to be more than just the pressure, more than just the sack, more than just holding out and holding them to a field goal after they kind of get down the field, because we can't get that sack because they're playing this short game against us where they're chipping away at us because they're never worried about the score. They're never playing from behind. If we could start putting pressure on them to score quicker because we have the lead and they have to throw more to do that, that's when I think you're going to start seeing us stand out as the decisive number 1 defense. If that's not happening, if we're not scoring points, if we're constantly behind, we might be a really good defense, but it's not going to have that exclamation point. It's not going to shine as much as it does with other defenses, because let's face it, people are into points. They like the big plays. They like the interceptions, the fumbles that then are turned into touchdowns, pick 6. That's the kind of thing people want to see. That's what makes people get excited about defenses. If we start doing things like that, and I think we will, as long as we're scoring points, I think that that's what's going to make people realize just how good this defense is. And so I think we absolutely could be the number 1 defense in the NFL. I think it's very easily, I'd be surprised if we weren't top 3. It would be a huge disappointment if we weren't top 3. It would probably mean to me that means that people got injured. But I think healthy, this defense is top 3 in the NFL, and very good chance to be number 1. Very good chance. I think we're right there with the Niners. I think they were considered number 1 most of last year. Baltimore, I think we're right up with these guys. Cleveland, we're right up there with them. Let me see what Knobcraft is saying. I see my name. During what's in the TV being reflected on the picture behind you, which drives me crazy. Is that a court show? Oh my God, I didn't even realize the reflection of the TV is there. Wow. I don't shut it off because the dog, when I leave here, he needs to have it. Let me see what the hell. Oh my God, it looks like Shark Tank. It's Shark Tank. That's what that is, Knobcraft. It's Shark Tank. Anyway, that's what I think. I hope that answers your question, Snowball. That's my take. That's my opinion. I gotta go. I might come later. I don't know. You're probably not going to go that late.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
That's what she said. Damn
it. But anyway, take care. Have a good show.
Later, buddy.
Later.
Oh, thank God he's gone. Now we can have fun. Ricky from New York, sir. I sent you the link. I owe you time. So whenever you're ready, hop in. And when you're done, excuse me, after you're complete, we'll open up for the chat here and we'll hang out as long as you guys want to hang out. But yeah, Snowball, I think. Excuse me, real quick. I don't think it's crazy to say this defense has all the potential to be what the Ravens were last year. Number one in scoring, number one in takeaways, number one overall yardage. I think this defense is really, really going to be great. Sauce in year 3. Like, he's got to start getting turnovers, right? Like, he's got to start getting interceptions soon. He's got to start getting the ball, catching it, and taking off, right? It's got to imagine that. Imagine Sauce if he gets a 5, 6, 7, 8 interception season on top of what he's been. You get that same play from Sauce, and now you get the turnovers with it. Oh, man, imagine Sauce starts making tackles in the run game more consistently too. I know it's a business decision. He's not lowering his shoulder on anyone. He's not letting that affect him, but it would be fun to see. So I want to thank everyone who's watching on X or Twitter for the first time. I'm streaming there today for the first time, and if you're new, please go to Proud New York Jets Fan on YouTube and subscribe to the channel. And all of you in the chat here, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for hanging out. Ricky, you got the link in Twitter, man, whenever you're ready. All right. All right, we'll do that. Let's see what you maniacs got to say. I already know before I even put the link into the chat, I know Phenom is just waiting. He's got his mouse just waiting there right now to click it, and we know he's going to come in first. And then some of you in the chat, you better be participating if you want to get on air. You better be participating in the chat. Just don't come on here for the call, get on, and then leave. I'm on to some of your antics, some of you. Make sure you're hanging out and communicating and being a part of the show. Yeah, we got to mute YouTube. Let's mute YouTube. All right, there we go. Oh, cool. I see the logos. What do you guys think? Give me some feedback on those logos. David D just posted a couple of them. We're working on them. We're trying to make them better. Dane's been helping me. He sent me a few today that I haven't been. He sent them like as the show started, so I haven't been able to upload them to the YouTube feed yet, but that should be there for the next show. And yeah, there's the link. It's there. I'll pin it in a second. As soon as somebody else comments, I can access it. Let me. Come on, somebody comment. I need one more comment that pops up. There we go. I don't know who's there yet. Give me a second. I'm going to pin that message. Let me close this. Let me get back to StreamYard. I knew it. You should just be the co-host by now, bro.
No, look, you guys asked for it, you got it. You guys all think you're a fortune teller, so I want to make you guys have some truth for one time in your lives, okay?
That's fine.
But really, you guys said a lot of good stuff tonight. In my opinion, are the Jets going to be a top 10 defense? Yeah. Do they have to be number one? No. They don't have to be number one. All we have to do is play complementary football, my friends. And we play complementary football, 3 phases of football, offense, defense, special teams, and we're in the top 10 in all those 3 areas. We're going to be pretty good. But one thing I like to say is how well is this team going to be conditioned? We used to see some of the best well-conditioned teams with the Jets back in the day. The early 80s teams, they were well-conditioned, but, you break down.
Why?
You break
You know
down.
why? Wait, you know the answer. Some of our younger fans might not know the answer. Tell them, Phenom, why were those teams back in the 80s, 90s so well-conditioned? What's changed?
Well, I don't know what really your answer you're looking me to spit out, but I just think that it was a steroid era. Number one, they
Well, that
lifted more weights. Joe Clayco was a strong man.
yeah,
He
it
was
was
a
a
very
bull.
strong man,
It was a
and
bull.
he was
Two a
one.
days. I was going to say two a days. Used
Oh,
to have two a days
yeah,
in July
yeah,
and August. So by the
absolutely.
time
But
October came around, you were like, "Oh, what a relief! I'm in such great shape. It's not 95 and humid anymore out in Long Island,
yeah,
and the whole league."
absolutely, and they were country strong. I mean, they were. I mean, it's just they played football. They were real football
Yeah,
players. So
yeah,
that's true. That's definitely a true statement. They were like that. But um, if you guys are talking about Sauce and if he could get 6 or 7 interceptions, the only way that's going to happen is if he follows the number one receiver on these other teams. If he's
agreed.
glued to him rather than playing just the left side or
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So uh, you guys got me all amped up. You guys have me in mid-season form. I'm feeling like this is a Sunday night after a game almost. But
Right?
we
Good.
have something that we didn't have going to last year's draft as far as they've set themselves up to go in many directions rather than uh, that one straight road that didn't lead them to success last year. And what I mean by that is everybody in the NFL knew that we were going to draft a tackle last year. And when all those tackles were gone and Bill Belichick made the move to Pittsburgh to screw us, they didn't have I don't think they had a solid plan enough, you
Yeah,
know?
you're right. Real quick, because I can never resist a joke. Uh, Boomtown, he wasn't beating either one of us in poker last night. That's for sure. I don't know what Dane was beating, but it wasn't me and you.
Uh-oh.
We played
You guys played
we had a
poker.
little poker chat
I heard.
video game last night. That was pretty fun.
I heard.
It was different.
But
I won $25. Not bad.
it was a good show tonight.
Thanks,
Absolutely. What else I got? Jamal, you guys
tell
are
me,
talking
man.
about Jamal Adams, and he was in my opinion, like I was a Jamal Adams truther. You know, he was an All Pro. He was a face of the franchise. Him and Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, I thought got a raw deal with the Jets.
Agreed.
If he had
100% agree.
if he had the talent that this team had, or even Zach Wilson, if Sam would have had that talent last year, he would have been. He might have got us to the playoffs. If Sam Darnold would have been the quarterback last year for the Jets, he might have gotten us to the playoffs.
Yeah.
But the offensive line stunk so bad, I can't even say that. But he would have gave us a fighting chance.
I think Sam could have been the right player, but at the wrong time. Because when he came in, it was while we were stripping everything down before we started to build. So how can any quarterback succeed at that moment? I always use the analogy with Sam when I look at the Ryan Leaf, Peyton Manning year. When you look at Peyton Manning, he went first overall. He went to Indy with Marshall Faulk, with Ken Dilger, Harrison, and all those weapons that they had. And he was the last piece of the puzzle, right?
Okay.
Ryan Leaf went to San Diego with Natrone Means. Like they look at when you compare the weapons of what each quarterback came in with. Peyton Manning came in a situation to succeed. Now, I'm not saying Ryan Leaf would have been Peyton Manning if he went to the Colts, but it's hard for a quarterback to succeed with no line, with no weapons, when you don't have any stability with coaching. So it was hard for Sam to ever succeed here. And a new regime wants to put their quarterback in.
I agree. I agree with all that stuff. So let's see what happens with Deion Sanders next season when he's coming through the draft. Is he going to be able to dictate where he's able to play? We'll see.
He needs to
Stay tuned
develop
for that
a
one.
lot. He needs to develop a lot as a passer before people start saying number one or the top end of round one pick. I got to see a lot of growth. He's a nice
We'll see.
He's a nice weapon.
Yeah,
right?
we'll see. Stay tuned to see how well. I'm not saying that he's that guy yet either, but he's trying to start the narrative of he's going to be able to choose where he wants to go. So
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see. We'll
A
see.
lot of
That's
rumors, man.
that's
That
neither here nor there. We have
Prescott
to.
and McCarthy could be on the last year with a coaching job and a quarterback job in Dallas open. And we know Jerry loves headlines. What gets bigger headlines than if Deion Sanders and his son go to Dallas together?
Yeah. And
Oh, hold on. We got channel news here. Knob, that's awesome, dude. Knobcraft was just kind and generous enough to purchase 5 memberships for the channel. Thank you,
okay,
my
guys.
friend. I appreciate
Cha-ching,
you.
cha-ching.
That's awesome, buddy. Thank you so
Absolutely,
much.
absolutely.
I'm sorry I knocked you out of poker last night. Now I take it back. I apologize. I was an awful person. Yeah, who got them? Dano saying Phenom 1-1. Did you get an alert? I don't know how this works, Knob. Do you pick who gets them? Are they random? I don't know the winners, Dane. If I knew the winners, I would. How do I find it?
I don't know if I put myself in position to be gifted one.
How do I find out who got them? Help me out here, Dane. I don't know. In the chat. It's not in my chat. What do you mean, on YouTube? My voice cracked. All right, here we go. The new members are Hyder, Snowball, Johnny, Patty Grimes, and Phenom.
Well,
Awesome.
thank you very much, sir. I appreciate you.
Awesome, Knob. That's really, really cool, man.
That was cool. Thank you very much. It's great being part of the chat and talking Jet football. So let me let somebody else get on there because it's always nice talking to you.
You too, sir.
All right. Take care,
man.
guys.
Enjoy
Good night.
the rest of your holiday. Thanks for joining as always.
Thank you.
Be good. So that's awesome, guys. That Knob did that. And make sure you guys accept it. I don't know. I think there's something you have to do to accept it. I was gifted one once on I was either Talking Jets or Ryan's channel. I forget. That was a little while ago. There you go. I'm with you. I've always wanted your tool too. Thank you. Nice little Easter present. I hope you guys enjoy it. And I hope when the 30 days is up, you consider renewing yourself or even paying it forward to others. Yeah. Yep. You're right in my alley. Yep. We'll talk. So the first level of membership, and let me shout out everybody who is a member. Let me do that. Let me take this time because I don't have anyone in the chat right now waiting to come on. But let's get to the memberships and we'll go through them. Oh wow. We got Wild Wave, we got Shane McGarry, we got David D, we have Mo Dean. We got Knobcraft, who's been generous to gift them to everybody. We got Paul Klein, we got Dano, we got Patty Grimes, we got Phenom, we got Johnny Jimenez, we got Hyder Ali, and we got Snowball. So awesome, guys. That's all on the Shiner level. The next level up is the Discord level. So maybe you guys will consider joining and bumping up a level, and we will get that going. And we'll do some fun things. We can have hangouts. We can have a poker tournament. We can do a whole bunch of different things now. I'm learning more about this this new world of Discord and the servers and all that stuff. Sorry for last time. What happened? What happened? What'd you do? I forget. I know I say stupid shit all the time and I make jokes and then I forget what happened. Please remind me. All right, Ricky will be popping in 10. Johnny, are you okay? Are you this is the longest the link has ever been in any chat that Johnny hasn't shown up. I'm actually shocked by this. He's either on kid duty or he's making a duty. I'm a little surprised. Yeah, Anthony, it's what the Anthony D. Welcome, man. I'll tell you the plan is on these Discord chats. You can host like a hangout, and you can play Texas Hold'em against one another. And we did it last night. We had a 6-man game, and it was fun. You can talk and video chat during it. Like, little box pops up in the corner for everybody. It was a lot of shit talk. It was fun. But that's something like I would like to do to be different with this channel. I don't know what other channels do, so I'm not in anyone's Discord. I'm brand new to it. Dane got me on it, but that would be something that we could do, like have a hangout one night, and do that. I know majority of you gem it. Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. He knew he was on kid duty or he was doing the duty. He's in the shitter. Yep. But yeah, it's something different, man. Like I want to give you guys. I'm very appreciative of everybody who watches, subscribes, takes the time to listen to me talk football, and it becomes a member of the chat and this community that we have here in Jet Nation, which is awesome. And I'm trying to think of ways to give back to it. So the first step is the membership to the channel, and I'll even, if we get enough members on that Shiner level, the first level, I'll open up I'll change the parameters and move that down a level. So the main thing is you guys just you guys join the membership, and Dano in the chat that you see is going to be working with me to give you guys the best experience here, and to want to continue your memberships to get your dollars worth. We know it's a tough time in America. I appreciate all of you guys who contribute to the channel, whether through a super chat, a super sticker, the memberships, anything. So playing poker and donating your money that way. No names. I won't say any names. I said I won't say it anymore. But congratulations again. Congratulations to Boomtown for taking me out last night, knocking me out in the poker to win it. Oh man, my legs hurt. So, all right, let's do questions until someone else pops up in the chat. I don't know. Ricky will be here in a few minutes. What do you guys got? We got any questions? You got any topics? Anything that's on your mind that we haven't discussed yet? Something that you think would be fun to talk about? Hit me up. What we got? Oh, I'm gonna move this a little bit. I'm gonna try to work this a little better, get some better lighting. Oh, there we go. That's not too bad. Excuse me. All right, hold on. Where you got nothing more. Guys, how many memberships do you currently hold where you get nothing more than a stupid emoji? Oh, you're asking them. I thought you were asking me. But that's good stuff, guys. Awesome. Oh, I see a chat question coming in. Do we think Gibson would be top 16 in punt return, kick return average using the new rules? This is a big topic. Dane, remind me to come back to this or save this, because this is a big one. And I got a guest I want to bring on now. Actually, two guests. One of them looks cute as hell. The other one is trying to get back on this channel with this trash ass hat that he's wearing that I've told him about, but he's persistent and he's still wearing this nonsense. What's up, dude?
What's up, man?
Not you. Shut up. What's up, dude? What's up, man? Hi.
Say hi.
How you doing? Hi. Hi. What's up? I know, I look like Shrek. Yeah. What's up? You want to do a jet chat? I'll reach out to you. Go ahead. Little spirit fingers. What's up, man? Yeah, oh, you look so much happier with me than you did with the Easter Bunny. Dad sent me the picture. You looked miserable. Yeah, what's up? You throwing punches? Yeah, I'll take you down.
He's
Awesome.
I gotta get ready to go shower and go to sleep for the night. I just wanted to come through, show some love, man. Been a
What's up,
crazy
bro?
day today.
What
I
are you
ate too
doing
much
up this
food,
late,
bro.
mate? You did?
Dude was
I don't think I
crazy.
ever hear you say that.
Yeah, it was. I think I've lost like 20 pounds in the last hour and a half.
Nice. Yeah, he did, right? Yeah, you were banging on that bathroom door.
hmm I'm trying to use him so we could get like 300 on here tonight.
How old?
18 months.
Nice.
All right, say
Hey.
bye to everybody.
Bye.
All right, later, guys.
Later, bro. Change that goddamn hat. You haven't won a game. Jets have won a game more recently than the Mets have. All right. Let me get back up to this. Where were we? All right. I got an idea for this kick return. I'm glad you brought this up because I don't know if anyone's mentioned this yet. Obviously, I don't watch every show. Uh, I've seen some takes out there. Why not, on your kick return, have offensive linemen? You know, a lot of teams, I think, are going to use athletic guys as your returners. You know, I don't want the starters out there because I don't want somebody getting an injury. But you know, you get a guy like Schweitzer, you get a guy like Mitchell or Warren, and you run like a power attack on a kickoff where if they can seal, because if 5 yards is a lot better to block a guy for offensive linemen than retreating and then trying to turn. And it's just not, these guys are full speed. But 5 yards, you just got to leverage the guy and then a hole can open and he's gone. I can't wait to see the coaching, the design, the execution, the strategy of this. I think this makes it exciting. Uh, I'm an old school head in a lot of ways, but I've hated that they've tried to eliminate the kickoff in football. Like we cheer, we're standing, we're doing a jet chant, and then touchback, commercial break. Like it's so fucking boring. This now, you're not missing a kickoff. Like I think this could really. How about this? Patrick Mahomes, big playoff game, goes down, scores some crazy kickoff return that we haven't seen yet, or a play with the kickoff goes Gibson, Brees Hall's back there. Remember we brought in Antonio Cromartie? Matt O'Leary tweeted this. This is not my take. This is Matt's. That you put Brees Hall back there in a big moment and let him like return one and just break one and go. And then that's how we win and we go to the Super Bowl on a Brees Hall kick return because of this new strategy. But I like it. I think Gibson will be back there. I think you might see Izzy and oh, hold on. Hey, I'm still on the show. What's up, Jay? You pocket dialing son of a bitch. I didn't want to talk to Jeremy anyway. I thought it was important. Like, I take his call during the show. You never know. Him and my sister, because my mother's in the hospital still. She's been in there for a few days. So if my sister calls, I got to take that call too. So I'm not trying to be unprofessional, but real life is of pretty importance. Mom's been in there. She's all right. She has some breathing thing going on, but she should be okay. She gets bad when this pollen comes. She can't breathe anymore. She smoked for like over 50 years. She quit like 3 years ago. So she's surprised at 73 she has breathing problems. I'm like, you're fucking lucky to be alive. like, why are you shocked that your body's breaking down? Ellie Holdwell. Scott, nice. I'm catching up in the chat. Forgive me, guys. I'm surprised none of you other clowns are popping in. I'm looking for questions. I'm catching up in the chat. Oh, here we go. I like this one. Wow, Wade, you know how excited I am about this. Yes, I think getting an offensive lineman as a piece to the future could be nice. It could be the move. And I'm not going to be mad if we take Fuaga or Fashanu or if Alt falls to us. I'm not going to be upset because long term, I want to build the best possible offense. And if those guys are key contributors to it, and we can have one of those guys with a Simpson, Titman, AVT, maybe Warren develops into the right tackle for next year, I'm okay with all that. Or we extend Moses or Smith, one of them. Uh, if one of them stays healthy, you give them a nice little extension. They like being here. We're winning. You tie someone like Tyron Smith with Rodgers for the next 2 or 3 years. I'm really, really okay with that. But I still ask this question. I see you in the back. Give me 1 minute. Let me finish this point and I'll bring you in, pal. When I look at this team, I still have to ask the question, what do we do if number 5 goes down and misses time? We're going to have Lazard and Mike Williams out there with Gibson in the slot. I think we move up. I'm saying it. Keep saying it until draft night. I think Joe Douglas is not all in yet. You want to be all in? You go and you trade up and you get another piece, another weapon, another toy for Rodgers, another player who can absolutely dog and embarrass elite cornerbacks. These wide receivers coming into the NFL now are completely different than what we came in with. You used to get 1,000-yard rookie, and it was like shocking, right? It's like, wow, this guy got 1,000 yards as a rookie. Multiple guys are doing it a year now. You're seeing record breakers like Puka come in. Imagine if we had Neighbors or even Odunze to Garrett Wilson. I know their story came out about potentially moving back because we don't want a quarterback. And I think that's good and dandy. But I think it could be just a smokescreen. And then we're the team that actually moves up. Move up. All right. You ready in the back? All right. Next, I'm going to bring in someone from the chat. It's his second time appearing on the show, and he can stay as long as he wants. What's up, Ricky? How are you?
Good, man. Thanks for having me. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter, sir. Hope it was a blessed day.
It was okay. I really didn't do a whole lot, so it was nice.
Those are sometimes the best, though, right? Sometimes those are the best days. Like laid back, you don't have to get dressed and go anywhere and buy stuff and do nothing. Sometimes kicking your feet up, watching Duke lose is one of the best days that there are.
Yeah, just me and the wife kind of hanging out and just relaxing for the day. So yeah, it was nice and peaceful. Dude, I agree with a lot of what you're saying,
real
man.
quick. Is that like a flag? Is that something that's like moving in the wind? Is that like a sheet or a flag? Okay. All right. I didn't know if it was a green screen and then I'm like, am I tripping? I'm like, what the hell's going on? All right, cool. All right, go ahead. Give me your take.
I would really like another weapon too. Man, I could see multiple things. Like, if we did move back and somehow could get a second, I could see taking Roman Wilson, and Rodgers could make him look like Jordy Nelson. He's sick. But I want another weapon. Also, I did this in one of my mocks, but the more I think about it, JD takes a running back every year. And I'm sorry, at 72, if Trey Benson's there, I would run that card up. Man, him and Brees together would just be sick. And I don't just want to win some games. I want to punish some people, man. I want to dominate some people.
And we got the line for it. We got the line that, all right,
yes,
Brees, we don't
yeah,
want Brees carrying it 40 times a game. We need another guy who, when we're blowing somebody out and we're up 24-6 at halftime, we don't have to give Brees 18 carries in the second half when we're trying to run out the clock. Like, let's have another guy who could take 10 to 12 that day.
yeah, and a guy with 4.3 speed that can catch the ball like that, that would just be nasty. That would just be nasty. And the main thing I want to talk to you about though is the defense, because man, I love some defense. I love some defense. That double tap pass deflection that Jermaine had and intercepted it and ran it. Like, that was better than any touchdown to me. I love that. That shit gets me so pumped. And, it's weird because they want McDonald to take this job. I remember.
Hey, Ricky, do me a favor. Hold on. Your internet's crapping. Try are you on a computer or are you on your phone? Try to turn the camera off, and let's see if I could hear you, because you're all garbled. Turn your camera off and see if it's better if you're just on audio, where it's not trying to do the video feed, because it got really, really bad there.
All right, is it better without the video?
Right now it is. Yeah, go ahead. I just don't want you to be garbled. I want everyone to be able to hear you.
No, that's all good. It's fine. Anyways, I was saying, like, everybody wants McDonald to take this leap, but I remember when John Abraham left and they thought Brian Thomas could just be John Abraham, and he just wasn't.
Yeah, good point.
So, I was kind of having like flashbacks because of that, but then all of a sudden they bring in Reddick, and it's like, you know what? Not only does he match Huff's production, he can actually up it. And all the forced fumbles he's had over the last few years is really enticing, because, like you were saying, that's what we need more of, is turnovers. And dude, it's like, I love Huff, but it's almost like, we upgraded basically. And
agreed.
I can't wait. It's going to be nasty.
Agreed, 100%. Yeah, Jeremy, I do see the comment coming in from Twitter. I know you're doing a test, but yes, I do see it. Thank you. Yeah, that's a great point. With we traded Abraham away, and brought in Brian Thomas from UAB, I think, number 22 overall, a pick or two before Ed Reed, and we all know how that career worked out.
Right,
but Reddick isn't let's hope he's somebody. Reddick is somebody.
Yeah, he's already somebody.
He's somebody who has played on a line with a rotation and was still playing 75% of the snaps. So he's an every down player. Salah said it the other day. He can go through you, he can go inside, or he can go around you. And that's somebody who can really, really make a difference. So I love that.
I think he's a perfect fit for what we've already got. I think he's the perfect fit for what we've already got. And, I'm really pumped to see, how that's going to look. Because, arguably, we got definitely the best defensive line in football. We've got the best linebacker duo, and we've got the best secondary. There's no reason we shouldn't be the number one overall defense.
Yeah, and we'll have the offense who can have a time of possession and have a lead and allow this defense to be opportunistic, right? Like I keep telling everybody, everyone that one of the things that got taken away from us was playing with a lead, which allows the defense to have more pass rush opportunities late in the game. And the two games that you look at last year where we needed them to close, and they did, was the Denver game, blitz, sack, fumble, scoop and run, and the Philly game. Philly was lined up going on a potential game-winning drive, and we're calling plays we normally don't see very often, and Tony Adams is able to jump a route because he knows we're gonna get home, and they know that they gotta throw the ball. So it's fun to watch a little glimpse. If you guys look at those, go watch those final drives. I keep saying this. I am a huge fan of when it's late in the game. I said this to my kids when I coached. I want us to be on the field. I want my defense on the field, having to win the game, having to close it out, having to seal up the W. And it's just more gratifying to me that we're beating you. You got to try to beat us, but you got to get through one of the best units in the NFL to do so.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And like this, it's the same for me. Like, you know, when I think about what we can do, especially playing with the lead, like we had so many times last year where guys had interceptions right in their hands and they dropped them. And I think a lot of that's because the defensive guys were pressing so much because the offense was put them in such bad positions. It'll be nice when they can just, you know, relax and pin their ears back and do their thing and not have to worry about, you know, if we give up 2 touchdowns, we're done because this offense can't score, because it's not going to be like that anymore.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've always talked about complementary football being on one side of the ball, right? Like you want the pass defense and the run defense to work together. We should see complementary football like we've never seen it before. The pass game helping the run game helping the pass game, the offense helping the defense helping the offense, special teams putting us in great positions or putting points on the board for us. We know we got 2 great legs on the team with Greg and Morstead. So it's tough looking at our team and finding a physical weakness. If you want to say health, absolutely. Like we're all shit scared. We all have PTJD. We're all shit scared of when a guy goes down. Is he going to get up? Is he going to walk back to the huddle? Is he going to be okay? We all have it in the back of our head. Like there's games where you watch and you're like, get up, everyone get up, everyone get up. Okay, nobody's down, no whistle blew. All right, we can play another play. Like it was that bad last year at one point. The Giant game,
over here now.
Everybody get up, everybody get up, everybody get up, and it just everybody kept staying down.
We know when you're done with all that.
Yeah, and you know what? If you look at this roster on paper, I mean, arguably you could say, I mean, this is probably the best roster I've ever seen the Jets have ever.
Great.
Like you said, I mean, there's hardly a weakness, and we just needed the quarterback, man. We got robbed so bad last year, and we didn't get to see any of the potential that this team had. And I'm just looking so forward to the year that, you know, we should have this year when that's not the case. And man, like, and the other thing is people want to say, you know, oh, well, there's health with, you know, Moses or Smith or even Rodgers, whatever. Dude, every single one of those guys has like a huge chip on their shoulder to prove everyone that's thinking that wrong. So I love that every one of those guys is coming in with that edge too. Like, man, I'm just really pumped for this year.
Well, edge is the key word after we got Reddick. So great choice of words there, my friend.
Right on. Yeah, I mean, and even like I said, Reddick is just like the perfect complementary piece to what we already have too. He really fits the system. And man, you know, JD pulled another great one right there. I mean, we gave up a third a couple of years from now, but when Reddick leaves, we'll get a comp third for him. So it's really, you know, like we got him for nothing. Like, you know, a swap of thirds a couple of years from now. Dude, that's genius. That's awesome. JD never ceases to amaze me. You can say what you want about JD with maybe not every draft hitting, but you cannot argue with that man's record when it comes to trades, man. He fleeces everybody.
Yeah. And it's such forward thinking that it doesn't even burn us, because somebody who could be a lame duck general manager, right? he's still putting the team to be in a good position, whether he's here or not. Now, obviously, his plan is to be here. His plan is for this team to succeed, hoist a trophy, and he gets a 10-year extension, whatever. I'm just throwing a number out there.
Right.
But it's really a really good trade because, like you said, if we lose Reddick, we get a comp pick. Or something that could be even better, Reddick loves it here, wants an extension, and we sign him, and he's part of the window for the 2-3 year window that we're all hoping that we go on, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I had one more point, and I can't remember what it was now.
I do that all the time. It's tough. It's tough. But where are you at with the draft? What's your thought? If you were making the choice right now, the New York Jets are 10, what's your choice as of today? Easter Sunday, what present are you giving to the Jets fans?
You know what? I think it would all depend on what opportunities are there. If I had the opportunity to move up and take Marvin Harrison or Neighbors, I would probably do it.
Okay.
That's just me.
Yeah,
but that's probably
like
what I would do, if I stick and pick, obviously the best player, but at that point, I would probably, if I was staying at 10, I would probably try to move back a couple of slots and see if I couldn't pick up a second from a quarterback needy team.
Yeah.
But if the opportunity was there to move up and get one of those two guys, I would do it.
Agreed. I think it brings another dimension to this offense, and it opens everybody up. And I keep saying this, but some people are here for it, some people aren't. One of the things that my friend who's a Green Bay Packers fan told me is that when Rodgers gets eliminated from the playoffs, it's because he tries to force feed the ball to his best player, and he throws a higher percentage of interceptions because nobody else is good enough to beat these elite defense who are scheming and the coaches who are hot. A hot coordinator is just as good as a hot quarterback come the playoffs. And if we have Garrett Wilson, Malik Neighbors, Mike Williams, Breece Hall, who are you going to stop? And Rodgers is smart enough to just take, or Conklin, the tight end. Rodgers is smart enough to just take whatever you give him, and he'll have enough trust in all of these guys, and it could be the best weapons he's ever played with. It could go from Rodgers has never thrown a touchdown to a first-round wide receiver to who's going to be the first one he throws one to, with Garrett and one of the other guys. So it's going to be fun, man. It's going to be really, really fun. Wow.
Yeah, and one last thing I'll throw in, and I'll go and let somebody else pick up the conversation. But I'm looking really forward to seeing how Conklin does this year. Like, dude, I think he's so underrated. I don't remember what week it was. It was like week 12 or week 13, like a good way into the season. And I saw where like he led the NFL in first downs by a tight end. And I was like, you know what? Watching him like carrying 3 or 4 people on his back, rumbling down the field. Like I can't wait to see him with Rodgers. I think he's going to have a big year this year as well.
Agreed. Rodgers loves his tight end. And in 2020, Robert Tonyan was number 2 on the Packers. He caught 52 out of 59 targets for 11 touchdowns. What has Robert Tonyan done before or since? So,
yeah,
I am somebody who has said I'm okay with Bowers. But I think I don't have a problem with Conklin being the guy. I just think we can do better. And I think Bowers would be an athletic upgrade, but I don't want to get into more Bowers conversation. I know everyone is beaten to death by it. Just the Jets draft conversation goes through cycles, right? Fuaga was the biggest guy in February. Bowers was the biggest conversation in March. Now it might be trending to the receivers, like Neighbors or Odunze finally, with who dominate the headlines, in terms of chats and tweets and all that stuff. But Ricky, awesome having you on, man. Thank you so much. And Thank you for supporting the channel and supporting me, brother. And we'll talk again soon.
All right, man. Have a good night, Nick.
You too, bro. We'll see you in the chat. Awesome. For those of you that were here 2 weeks ago, Ricky popped in the chat. Boy Green then popped on, who I invited on the show that night. And I was unsure of when he was going to get here. And then I cut Ricky short. So Ricky and I have been messaging on Twitter. And I told him, whenever you're ready, you have as much time as you want. So, Dane, you could stop yelling at me. God damn, Knob, get that name out of the chat. That's why I'm not putting your comments up. All right. I got another guest here. You never know what you're going to get with this guy. You've seen him on the show before. You've seen him with me and Jeremy on Wednesday nights. He is known for being a maniac. When he's in a foul mood, the entire Eastern Seaboard gets put on notice. When he's ready to let you know how he feels about something, he will leave no question unanswered. You will be crystal clear with his take, and he hasn't been on in a couple weeks, so I'm very curious to see where he's at. I'm not going to say anything because once he starts going, I'm not even going to interrupt. Everyone, welcome back to the show, my good friend CJ the Painkiller. What's up, brother?
What's going on, Nick? you are just too funny.
How you feeling, man? We haven't talked since free agency erupted.
Listen, I have to say that I feel a little bit better about this free agency this season, where I actually talked a little bit about this on my show just a little bit ago.
Well, tell everyone where they can find you. While you tell everybody where they can find you.
Yep, I'll tell everybody toward the end before okay. I take off. I'll give all my information. But
all right, cool.
One of the things that I feel cautiously optimistic about the offseason, especially with the addition of Hassan Reddick. And you know what? I actually read your comments on Facebook and some of the others who actually went ahead and commented shortly after you had posted yours. Yeah. And I was actually looking at it and I was saying to myself, you want to know something? We actually, even with the subtraction of Huff, and yes, I know that a lot of fans were really, really upset because when they looked at Bryce Huff's contract that he got with the Philadelphia Eagles, there were fans who felt like Joe Douglas could have offered him a similar contract and we would have been able to keep him. But you take a look at Hassan Reddick now, just being able to add him into that defensive line rotation that we have, we not only got a player, in my opinion, who actually will match Huff's production, but probably exceed Huff's production, and you'll be able to utilize him a lot more where you're not just limited at putting him in just as a pass rushing specialist. You could use him in a couple of other different facets, which to me, this was well worth the assets that the Jets gave up in order to get him. And when I first saw this, with this news breaking, this actually made up for not being able to lock down Jadeveon Clowney. Although the stories with Jadeveon Clowney was he really wanted to go home. That's why he ended up.
And how can you knock that? How can you knock that? He got more money, and he wanted to go home.
Yeah, you can't.
How are you going to beat that?
You can't knock that at all. Shout out to Haider Ali, in the chat over there.
Hyder.
Oh, Hyder.
We were corrected. Dano has corrected us, and he gave us it's Hyder.
I appreciate it, dude. Love you. You're the best. Keep the comments coming. There is one thing that I wanted to bring on with you that I want to propose to you because I am very, very curious
I like
to hear your thoughts on this.
All right. What do you
Now,
got?
this
I like
is something
this
that
too.
I
This is,
put.
I like unplanned questions. Like
Yep.
I like a topic that I don't know what's coming. What do you got?
This is something that I actually saw on an article that I got a couple of days ago from heavy.com
Okay.
in regards to a proposed mock trade between the New York Jets and the Denver Broncos regarding one pain in the ass that we cannot wait for all of us to unload, one Zach Wilson. Now, the details of the trade basically are like this. Harlan, thank you for the shout out. I appreciate you. It's good to be here. Thank you. And it's good to see you as well. All right, so Nick, basically what John Bueller of Fansided actually proposed, he put together this mock proposal. And the more and more that I've read this article, and I've read this article quite a few times over the past couple of days, the more and more it kind of makes sense because the Broncos are very, very desperate for trade for draft compensation. They need draft compensation badly. They need draft capital very badly. What do the Jets have? Draft capital. Now, unfortunately, thanks to one Woody Johnson putting his foot in his mouth like he always did, he kind of burned up the little bit of tradability that Zach Wilson had by saying that if we can't trade him, we're going to keep him. Despite previous reports that Zach Wilson is not going to be a member of the New York Jets in 2024, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I don't need to rehash all of that bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
But the trade that he proposed was this. And I'm sorry for the long-winded explanation. I wanted to set the stage for it. All right. The Jets would be giving the Broncos Zach Wilson.
Yes.
A 2024.
Yes. Yes. I don't even have to hear the rest. CJ, as soon as you said Zach Wilson, yes.
Well, here's the reason why I have to preface this is because of the fact that now with everything that has happened over the past maybe 10 days, in order for us to legitimately be able to have an opportunity to trade Zach Wilson,
okay,
two things are going to have to be included with it. One, you're going to have to include draft capital.
Agreed.
Because I think that Zach Wilson will be unmovable otherwise. And two,
agreed.
The New York Jets will also have to we also would have to retain a percentage of Zach Wilson's contract in which we would have to eat.
Okay.
In order for us to dump him off. Now, Wild Wave says, CJ, we don't have draft capital, at least good ones. When you hear the picks that are being proposed, you might change your mind on there. But again, this is something that was proposed. I looked at it and I was kind of intrigued by it. But here's the thing. I don't just go off of my opinion. I want to know what Jet Nation is thinking. Okay. So that's why I want to put this out there in the ether. And what better platform to do it than right here with my man, Nick. So the Broncos would get Zach Wilson. They would get a 2024 fourth rounder and a 2025 sixth rounder. Now, in return,
so it's one of our fours this year.
Yep, one of our fours this year.
Next year.
And a six next year.
Okay.
And the Jets get Cortland Sutton.
Oh, God, yeah. God, yeah. Yeah.
I think that personally, okay, I'll give you my opinion, and then I want to open the floor to everybody. People in the comments, to you, to Moses, Jesus, whoever wants to jump in. Okay? I think personally, just for the subtraction of Zach Wilson, yes, you have to give draft compensation. You got to eat a portion of the contract. This is what you're going to need to do to get rid of him. If you need to do it, you do it. But in order to be able to get Cortland Sutton, someone who you know who can come in, who can contribute right away, and now makes the Jets wide receiver room one that can no longer be ignored.
Agreed.
I think, in my opinion, you make this deal 10 times out of 10.
100%. I don't know if the Broncos do after already trading Jerry Jeudy. I would love it. I like, I'm adamant we need another weapon,
Right.
right? If you're able to get Sutton, who I think is a $14 million hit this year, around that, but you're getting rid of Zach and you're getting rid of that number, it's almost even. Like Zach is 10.8, I think, this year. Something around there. If I'm wrong, correct me if you have it up. But
Yeah, I believe
yeah,
so. Let me
I have no issue paying, and I've said this, that we would have to pay someone to take Zach. That was even without a player coming in return. I thought we would have to give away Zach, and for just discussion purpose, throw Zach in a fourth and then get a sixth in return from somebody. Like, we'd have to lose the trade, but the win would be moving him, right? Like, no one wants to see him play here again. Nobody wants to deal with the what if Zach has to trot back out there again, God forbid, right? I have no issue whatsoever with making a move that alleviates the cap space, gets us a better offense, and gets us another weapon. Now, if number 5 were to go down, for those that forgot, number 5 is Garrett Wilson. He's changed his number this year, just a reminder.
Right.
But I know most of you guys, if not all, knew that. I'd be a lot more comfortable going into a game with a game plan if it's Cortland Sutton, Mike Williams as receivers 1 and 2. Now, with Garrett Wilson, with Mike Williams, with Lazard, I don't know if they'll take on that excess money, but if you can move Zach and do it, there's no doubt that it makes us better. It makes us harder to cover. It helps this defense because they'll be playing with a lead a lot more. I would be really, really okay with that. Real quick, I see this comment coming in. Joseph Campbell. Do you guys think Lazard are going to trade during the draft? I don't, because the cap hit hurts. I think they're going to have to suck it up and hope a year with Rodgers enables us to move on from him next year. Or he plays really well and ends up being something that he revives himself. But I think if you could get out of that without financial, if there was no cap hit, he would have been cut the week that he got benched. I think the coaching staff was fed up with him. I think that his effort went down. His lack of focus and the paying attention to details wasn't there.
I think he was afraid, personally, because, I mean, if you think about it, when he went over the middle week 3 and he took that hit, he was never the same after week 3. And it just seemed like he just had a case of the yips. He was seeing ghosts. Yeah. You could tell by the way that he was running his routes. He was very, very tentative. And I just think that Lazard is going to be a huge question mark in this wide receiver room. And I'll explain to you why. I think that the only one that would maybe be able to pull him out of this funk may be 8.
Yeah.
And I think that with 8 throwing him the ball and knowing that it's not Zach, knowing that he's going to have specific routes that he needs to run and he's going to have that timing back, I think that Lazard will make up for the shitty year that he had this past year.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, Lazard, if he starts putting up numbers during the course of the season, could also be utilized as a trade chip, just in case if during the beginning of the season you see an area of need, someone else needs a wide receiver. That might be something. I'm always thinking proactive because during the course of the season, there's always it's always a game of attrition, Nick. So, and if you have a guy who is overperforming, and you know that if you trade this guy, that you can get something that's going to address a need that you may have. It could be a cornerback. It could be another offensive lineman. It could be a running back. It could be whatever. You quite possibly make that trade because that'll help that
Yeah.
that thing. Now I'm actually looking at the comments. I'm seeing a little bit of a mixed bag. There's some who think that yes, this would actually be a pretty good trade, but I'm also seeing a lot of people who think that they don't think that Denver would actually give up one of their best primary weapons, which is that's a very, very fair point. Which is again the reason why I wanted to pose this question here tonight to all of you, because I'm curious to hear.
Go ahead.
Why wouldn't you do that trade on May 1st? So it doesn't include.
You very well. It could be It could be June 1st.
Yeah.
It could be one of those trades where the cap hits go down for everybody for moving players after June 1st. Dane, I think that's a real logical take. I think you do see some movement post June 1st. Guys who might get designated. Denver might want to build more for next year's draft and get some picks back. I think that's a great take, Dane. I think that makes a lot of sense. But I just think even if you don't get Cortland Sutton, I think the win for the Jets would be just giving Zach a new start somewhere. I've said that one of the places that he should land is someplace that has had a coach or an elite offensive coordinator who's had great success with building and grooming and teaching the game of football to young quarterbacks. Andy Reid, Sean Payton, Sean McVay, or some of the names that pop into mind right away.
I think honestly, Denver would actually would, in my opinion,
yeah,
and not just because of this trade proposal. I think that would be the best spot for Zach if you really wanted to move. If you really wanted a spot where Zach could go to really reinvent himself, because for me, it's either if he doesn't go here, he goes to the Rams. If he doesn't go to the Rams, dude, you need to go to the CFL.
Yeah, I think that, you've seen guys who bounce around the league. Trevor Siemian's still bouncing around the league, right?
Right.
There's guys who...
Trevor Siemian, I still can't believe even has a job. Tim Boyle,
Yeah.
I don't even know why. I don't even know how the hell he actually got a roster spot. It still boggles the mind, but whatever.
Trade. Oh, yeah, you're right, Dane. The trade pre and post June 1st is about the same.
more CFL slander. No, actually, the reason why
Boomtown's Canadian. He's from Canada.
Well, see, here's the reason why. Is because I think that the vein of thinking that I have is more the Doug Flutie route. All right. Doug Flutie, when he was in the NFL, early in his career, a lot of people thought that he was washed up. But you know what? Where did he go? He went to the CFL and he resurrected his career, and he set all kind of league records in the CFL, as well as be able to relearn to play the position of quarterback at a much higher level and be able to actually do, actually be able to do the things required for the position. Then when Doug Flutie was able to come back into the NFL, he became a lot more of a marketable commodity because he had that much more talent behind his
and then he went on to have success in Southern Canada playing in Buffalo.
Yep, that is correct. So that's the reason why.
Yeah,
not because I think that if you can't play in the NFL, you suck. Go to the Arena League, go to the CFL, go to the UFL. To me, it's go anywhere with someone who will actually take the time to coach you and teach the game if you want to be taught. Because there's a difference between players in this game, players who can be coached and players who can't be coached. The players who can't be coached, guess what? They're no longer in the league anymore because nobody's going to put up with that shit anymore. But you've also lost the ability where now players are coddled a hell of a lot more than they used to be. And I really think that they need to kind of exercise a little bit more tough love, but that's just me.
Yeah. I gotta get wrapping up. I gotta be up early tomorrow. Um, what's your thoughts right now as of all these moves? What are you doing with the draft pick? Are you a move up? Are you a trade back? Or are you a stay at 10 and take A, B, C? What's your ranking?
No, I would like to move back. And personally, the reason being is I want to acquire more assets, see if I can recoup a second round pick. Because if there's a way that I could take that 10 pick and I could turn it into 3 picks, do it. Because then those 3 picks are going to be able for me to be able to not only take best player available at whatever point, but also be able to address other needs and look at other skill position spots. I mean, hell, you could draft a quarterback in the second round.
Yeah.
You know?
I like that. I think what Joe has done from when the snow game ended in New England till now, and I didn't know how he would do it, but I was adamant about saying that Joe had to get 2 or 3 offensive linemen to start, and he was like, "How's he going to do that?" I'm like, "I don't know, but that's what he's do." In order for the draft scenario for me to happen, this is what had to happen. You had to get another weapon. You had to get 2 or 3 starters on the offensive line, and then I kept saying the biggest disservice that Joe Douglas could do would be to enter the NFL draft with the entire league knowing at 10 that we have to take offensive line.
Yeah,
And
that's
now
true.
we're in a position where it
We
could
don't
be a
have to.
trade up for a weapon, right? It could
We
be
could trade up. We could
stay
trade
at 10.
down.
It could be take one of the receivers. It could be take one of the offensive linemen. It could be take Bowers. Just make the offense better. Or it could be trade back and acquire more assets where you might need a second or third round. Now, if you get a second rounder, now with your third, you might be able to take a linebacker to groom behind CJ, right? To pair for the future with Quinn. If you get the additional asset, like you said, now you're in a position to start planning. Okay, we don't have to sign DJ Reed to an extension because boom, we got this guy in the 4th who we think fits in just like Michael Carter did. Like this guy fits our scheme. This is what we want to do. You can maybe let Michael Carter go and say this guy could fill in, take under Carter. You got to start replenishing because I think we have a very talented roster. You can't pay everybody. You're going to have a pipeline coming in of guys who can play and guys who can step up and guys who can get elevated, whether it do from injury, whether it could do from whatever the case may be.
3 teams you could take pages out of, Nick, and I'm glad that you actually brought this up.
I wonder if they're the same 3 I mentioned earlier. Go.
San Francisco,
the
way that they've been doing it.
Yep.
Baltimore,
yep.
The way they've been doing it. Believe it or not, Pittsburgh, the way that they've been doing it well.
Yeah.
Because you could take a combination of what they do, all of that, and just be able to take little tidbits where like you said, you're not going to be able to pay everybody, but if you can still keep the pipeline fresh with tremendous talent, where if you lose a guy, you could plug another guy in, and your defense and your offense is not going to skip a beat.
Yeah.
Good on you right there.
Yeah. Do you know why I said earlier? I threw in Seattle for years, and I threw in the Patriots, obviously, when Belichick was there during the prime. Do you know what allows those teams to trade back, to acquire more assets? I was addressing the Jets fans who constantly scream for fire the coach, fire the GM. I go, why? Now you're going to be in a position where you're changing over the scheme that you run. You're changing over the type of players that you're looking for. And then 2-3 years in, they haven't won yet. And you're like, fire them, fire them, fire them, fire everybody.
Do you know why? You just said it.
Overreactive nonsense.
Because if you really want a system to take root and to be able to see exactly what it's going to be, 3 years is not the benchmark anymore. You have to go anywhere between 3 to 5 years. And the reason being is because you need players that actually fit that system. When you have a new coach and a new coaching staff, new defense, new defensive scheme, it takes a minimum of 2 years for them to be able, for everybody who's there, to be able to assimilate and be able to do it like it's muscle memory. Then in year
Yeah.
3, you should start to see a little bit of the dividends. You should start seeing a little bit of the fruits of the labor.
Yeah.
But here's the problem. When you are constantly taking players in and out, and you're constantly smashing that reset button, like you said, fire this guy, fire that guy, fire the GM, fire the head coach. The NFL is no longer a microwavable league. Sure, you have stories where take a look at what Houston did. Take a look at what Cincy did a few years back. Take a look at what Kansas City did. The problem is they didn't just get one player and all of a sudden they were great. It was the people that came before them that whoever it was who took over kept the best parts or the parts that worked of the previous system and made it work for them.
Yeah.
Take a look at what happened with Rex Ryan when Eric Mangini was fired. I truly believe if Eric Mangini was not fired and we didn't hire Rex Ryan, Mark Sanchez would have never been drafted. And I still think that we would have made the playoffs the next year had we at least given Eric Mangini one more chance.
Yeah.
And who knows? Who knows what could have happened? But again, just
all right. I'm close to wrapping up. You
Okay.
appreciate you coming in.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me. I know it was
the chat loves you. You know, they've starting to see your face more. Some of them, like you said, like Hyder, they've known for a long time. So tell everybody where they can find you. Tell them what you got going on, man.
Absolutely. First, let me introduce myself because I know you got some of you in there that know me, some of you that don't. My name is CJ the Painkiller D. Simone, as you can see right over here. I am the host of a show called Mission Briefs. Mission Briefs has a YouTube channel. If you get the opportunity, please go and search it up. Hit that like and subscribe button. Every Sunday night from 9 to 9:40 p.m. or 9:35, whatever. I do a little segment which segues into my 10 o'clock show. My 10 o'clock show, you can also catch on YouTube, but you can also catch on Northeast Streaming Sports if you have the free Roku app, Roku TV app. You could also catch it there as well. My show is also part of the Northeast Streaming Sports Network. Please go and check us out there. Find us on Facebook. Weapons Hot has a Weapons Hot Mission Briefs has a Facebook page. Just search it up. You can hit us there. You can find this show on Jets World if he's in there. If you guys want, I could actually put in where to find it in the chat. I'll try to enclose links as well for you to click on. So that way it'll be easier for you to find. By all means, come check me out. Leave me messages.
Briefs, right?
What's that?
It's not Weapons Hot Mission Briefs, right?
No, it's just Mission Briefs. Just type in Mission Briefs.
Okay.
Scroll down and you'll see.
Well, I'm subscribed to that one. I'm trying to find it to put it in the chat.
Yeah, absolutely. Pop it in there. Pop the link for everybody to find. Definitely leave me a message, leave me a comment, message me or message you right back. I love talking all about the Jets. And the whole reason I do this show, guys, is I'm just a fan, just like you, but just like all of you.
Oh, it's
so when I went,
it's WH Mission Briefs. You just did the show 2 hours. Okay.
Yep. WH Mission Briefs.
All right,
Nathan, good to see you in there. Chris, good to see you in there. Dane, I hope I get to see you in there a little bit more. Wild Wave, 100% agree with you. Eric Mangini, new talent. So, yeah, by all means, like and subscribe. Every Sunday, I'm going to be doing a show, putting out content. And again, I put my opinion out there. And the reason being is I'm a fan. So I give you what I think of it.
Yeah.
So I'm not an authority. You know, I don't work for ESPN. I don't work for CBS Sports or whatever. I don't have a blog. I don't write articles or whatever. I'm just a schmuck who does a show. Just like anybody else who's on here, who's passionate about the Jets and wants to get their opinion out there. So when I put my opinions out, I want to hear the other side of the coin.
Yep.
I don't just want a bunch of people that, yeah, man, I agree. No, I want the other side of the coin. If you don't agree with my opinion, tell me where it is. Give me your opinion. Tell me why.
Good comment.
Yankees just traded for Kirk Cousins' cousin.
Nice.
Dane,
I
you
put
could
the
find
link
me
in the
not only
chat.
on Facebook, you could also find me on YouTube. I haven't put a bunch of stuff on the YouTube channel yet. I'm still working on it, but it's still in the early ages. So by all means, go in there, check it out.
Yeah.
I appreciate the likes, the follows, the subscribes. Unfortunately, yes, my Sunday show does overlap with Nick's. So if you catch Nick's live, you can always watch mine on replay. Doesn't matter. If you watch mine live, you can always catch Nick's on replay.
Yeah.
So doesn't matter.
Either way, you got to deal. It's like HBO back in the day, right? Sunday
Yep.
nights, it's got to be after 9 o'clock. Both of us love the F word. This might be the longest I've ever talked to you without you throwing out multiple, like on a rant. So kudos to you.
Listen,
it's
I
Easter.
did it.
I know you're being a good boy. It's Easter.
Yes,
Jesus is
yeah.
watching.
I don't know if you listen if you get the opportunity, check out my show before the Roku show. I definitely I did a whole skit with the Woody Johnson and said my piece with all of that. I needed to rant about that. So.
Yeah, of course. And that's the best part of you are the rants. But thank you, man. I appreciate it. We'll
Listen,
connect
thank you
more.
for having me on.
Yeah.
From the bottom of
Anytime,
my
man.
heart. I love you, brother.
Love you too, man. And if you guys, I know CJ, you guys are showing him a lot of love, but anytime you're aggravated about having to deal with me and Jeremy, that's the man to blame.
Yep,
right there.
it's my fault. It's my
It's his
fault. I'm
fault.
the one that introduced them to one
You
another.
motherfucker. Be good, bro. Take care. I love you, man.
Thank you. Love you too. Appreciate you having me on.
Be good, bro. All right, Dane, you said you had 2 rapid fire questions. Go ahead, hit them. Hit them off because I am ready for bed. I was up late last night. I was up early today. Oh, here we go. He had it ready to go. That's what I like. Assuming health, where do you rank this offense against every offense we've ever had? 2. Assuming health, where does this defense rank against every defense? I need a big body run stuffer before I can put this. Don't forget, those Rex defenses were number 1 in the league. I think that this team has all the potential to be the top defense in the league. With the way all the offensive rules are, I think this could be the best statistical defense we've ever seen. In terms of sacks, in terms of third downs, maybe even turnovers. We're going to see a lot of turnovers with this pass rush. With the defense, I think you're looking at potential number 1 defense in the league. I think you're looking at probably a team that could be in the conversation for the best Jets defense of all time. If everyone stays healthy, everyone's good to go. Offense stays healthy, giving the defense leads, allowing them to be what they want to be. I think we could be. Offensively, I know it's a different game 26 years later. That 98 team with Vinny, Keyshawn Corbett, Curtis, Kevin Mawai. That to me is still the best offense I've seen in terms of efficiency, in terms of winning games, in terms of closing games. Healthy, we could have. But let's say this. It's not like we're the 49ers or the Chiefs talking, right? Or the Steelers. It's a very low bar to get to the number 1 all time with the Jets. It's very, very easy. Like Rodgers could throw for 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns, and oh, boom, you're the leader all time. Yeah, don't forget Chris Jenkins also had Sione Puha with him, so we could put both of those big bodies out there together, and that just allowed the ends to open up. That's what she said. Hey, if we're looking at the best Jets offense ever and we're looking at the top 3 Jets defense of all time, we're hoisting a fucking trophy, gentlemen. We are. But I want to thank you. Good question. I like that one. That was a good one there. All right, everybody. I'm heading out. I want to thank everyone who watched tonight. I want to thank Knob for giving out the 5 subscriptions to the channel. Just to go over that again, the members are Snowball, Hyder Ali, Johnny Jimenez, Phenom, Patty Grimes, Dane O, Paul Klein, Knobcraft, Mo Dean, David D, Shane McGarry, and Wildwave. Awesome. Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate that. Thank you, Knob, and Dane for your memberships, and Knob for gifting them out to others. That's really awesome. Hopefully, you guys enjoy it, and when that month is up, subscribe on your own, and maybe give out some gift subscriptions to others. And maybe it's somebody who might not be in the chat, but somebody you say, hey, you got to come check out the show. I'm going to give you a gift. So, and I appreciate you guys giving me the gift. If you're watching for the first time and you're here, please subscribe. Do a Sunday night shine time, I call it, 9 to 11, most of the time later than 11. Thursday night Throwdown is a debate show where I bring on another Jet content provider. And we have a debate on a Jets topic and take different sides, open up the chat, the video to callers to come in. Oh, you guys are not going to like this. I'm not a Seinfeld fan. I'm not. I'm sorry. I know whenever I bring that up, Jeremy, he fucking chastises me. But that was mid-90s. I was basketball practice or games all winter long. I was going out at other times of the year. I didn't really get into it. That was just a bad timing for me. And I never really got into it. Never really got into Seinfeld. I know of it. I know the characters. I've seen it in syndication for the last 25 years. But yeah, I don't have one. If anything, I'll say the one that always sticks out in my head that what I saw is when Kramer sits on the rooftop and like puts like Crisco or whatever on himself and like cooks himself. So who would have thought that that would be a trend now? People actually want to turn themselves that color. So Dan, I haven't gotten into Curb yet. I have a hard time streaming comedies because I feel that the comedy gets dry when it's one episode right after the other. Excuse me. Oh, no problem, Hank. Thanks for showing up, buddy. Oh, where'd you go? Boom, boom, boom. I'm just looking to see if you guys got any other questions. Oh, Phenom. Yeah, man. That was cool that Knob did that. Have a good night, Ricky. Stop it, Wildlife. Yeah, Dane, I had Gunny on. Gunny was on the first Thursday night Throwdown. He's got that whole army of that family, Marine Corps family with all the kids they got. They're always going off somewhere for some event. Thursday night he does, with Green Bean, and then after that show, it's usually dinner time for them. So I try to get him on. He had me on his first show on Tuesday night, and I got no issue with doing that. I just talked to him today. I reached out to him after you told me about the new stream that or service that he uses. So I'm gonna take a look at that tomorrow. You know what, Elon? I do love 2.5 Men. That's what she said. Yeah, I bailed too when Charlie Sheen was gone. But all right, everybody. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a good night. I hope you enjoy what's left of Easter. Hope you had a blessed day. I gotta check the comments because you guys throw super chats in at the end to keep it going. I do a group also Discord Eastbound. I'm actually in the middle of Eastbound and Down, but I switched over and I started watching Mayor of Kingstown on Paramount with Jeremy Renner, and season 3 is coming out June 2nd. So it's a really good show. If you haven't watched that yet, It's about the prisons up in Michigan. How there's like 7 prisons within like a 10-mile radius, and how the people on the inside rule what's going on the outside. It's very good. He's not actually the mayor of the town, but he is like a liaison negotiator, and it's worth the watch. It's worth the watch. Stevie's so good. He's so good on Eastbound and Down. Bradigan, my man, what's up, buddy? But all right, everyone. We can't do a group watch. Everyone will talk through the whole fucking show. I'm one of those people. I gotta sit quietly when I watch TV. But all right, Elon. Good night, everybody. Take care. Have a good week. Take care of business. Take care of life. Do all you got to do, and then at night we'll see you in the chats on my show and others. As always, be loud, be proud, New York Jets fans. Have a good night, guys.
And now, welcome to Pride and Chaos.
Welcome to the darkest year of our adventures.